Greetings, Portobello Radio. This is Jackie Eso from the Akanga Cultural Center and Library in Porto Novo, Republic of Benin. Sonate isula se sabana bongo, babe nyongi. Portobello Radio, probably the best radio station in London.
Yes, we are Portobello Radio. And we are definitely today the best radio station in London because we are doing the African Women, Black Women Warrior Queen Takeover Part 2. And we are really, really pleased to have as our co-presenter the wonderful
Amber Joy.
Yes, back in the house. And of course, on the decks and controlling things is
Faye.
And I'm Isis.
Hey, hey.
So shall we start with a track? Because we will all bop into this track. And then we're going to have a little chat about you and how you're doing, Amber, before we move into having our wonderful, wonderful women, black women, as guests. So let's play that track.
Wopum komboti, wema zamin. Wopum komboti, wema zamin. Wopum komboti. When my time in, open komboti. umqombothi.
I work hard every day to please my people with African beer.
Wemadlamini,
Everybody,
umqombothi.
come and drink my
Wemadlamini,
magic beer.
umqombothi. Wemadlamini,
Everybody,
umqombothi.
come and drink my
Wemadlamini,
African beer.
umqombothi. Wemadlamini,
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, I've got some voice. Can we hear you, Amber? Yep. Yeah, so that,
Hello,
of
hello.
course, was Yvonne Shaka Shaka with Umkomboti. I'm not even know how to pronounce it.
Do you know what? Neither me to my shame.
And
I should-
you're half South
I'm
African.
actually South African. I should be able to.
So, and we were talking earlier saying we can't even click.
And can't pronounce the name of the language even properly.
What,
That's a
Koza?
source of shame.
Koza.
Koza, yeah, I can't do it.
It's like when that introduction, I might have to play it actually, and Miriam Makeba says, because they call it the click song because they can't say.
Because I can't say the title.
Yes, our first guest is arrived and she's in the house. We'll be having her on shortly.
Looking fly, might I
Looking
add.
gorgeous. Oh, I'm loving these African women, black women, warrior queen takeover. I think we need to start taking over Portobello Radio more often. We're not going to leave it just
Yes.
till October. We're going to start on that more often.
Absolutely.
So tell
I'll
us a
make
little
you
bit
right.
about yourself, because you are our co-host. You've been on loads of times before with your gorgeous daughter.
I have, yeah. But
But
we're
solo
regular at this
styly
point.
today.
Yes, yeah. Nice and peaceful and quiet without the teenage element. No. Tell you a little bit about myself. I am local. Most people around here would know who I am. Arty type. I take pictures. Oh my God. Now I'm on the spot. I can't remember any of the things I do.
You paint professionally as well, not artistically as well.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because there are not many female painters around. It's still quite male dominated.
That amongst other things, I'm
You're
part
a
of-
wonderful gardener because I was blown away by your garden. OMG.
Yeah, this is true. I'm a bit green-fingered. Yeah. I am, well, there was nothing else to do in lockdown, so, new skills, new styles. Yeah, man.
And you, Faye, what have you been up to? What have you been up
Excuse me, I've literally been daydreaming for about 5 hours.
Well, that sounds fun.
I've just been staring into space. Yeah.
That sounds like a luxurious 5
Yeah,
hours, you ask
exactly.
me.
Like to have the space to daydream.
I know.
I'm literally running from one place to the next, from one place to the next. It's the
Yeah,
beauty of youth.
I was just waiting for you all to turn up.
Yeah, and here we are.
But what have you
blessing
been doing the rest of the
airwaves.
time, though?
The rest of the time, okay, so there's this TV show, and I was trying to remember what it's called. There's a TV show about this woman who I don't know what happens to her, but she realizes there's something in her brain. So then she moves to somewhere new, and she gets a group of people her age, and she teaches them this weird dance sequence where they can basically teleport into different timeline realities.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's very
Yeah.
sci-fi.
Yeah.
That
And
sounds good. What's it called? Are we
I
allowed to
don't remember what it's
advertise?
called. This is what I was trying to remember. But I literally bumped into one of the actors of that TV show today.
Okay.
Yeah, and they were like, "Oh, really? Do the dance then. Do the dance."
Do the Prove that you're a fan.
Yeah. So I was literally on Portobello.
Oh, you're talking about the angel thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God, that was really good. Yes. The whoop. Yeah. Oh, God, what was
Now
that
I'm
called? Yeah.
intrigued. I need something.
Oh,
new to watch.
we're gonna
Yeah,
find the name.
yeah.
Okay, so I think before we have our wonderful, gorgeous guest on, I think we need to play another track just to get the vibe going and have a little bit more conversation, because I want to talk about people putting their hands in black women's hairs,
Oh, goodness.
because these things are still going on in 2022.
You see the
And there's
faces
a lot to
around
talk
this
about.
table right now.
So, are we ready for another track?
Skin just like pearls, best thing in the world. Never trade you for anybody else. And a brown skin girl, skin just like pearl, the best thing in the world. I never trade you for anybody else. Singing.
She says she really grew up poor like me. Don't believe in nothing but the Almighty. Just a little jeans and a pure whitey. She never dream forever be nobody wifey. Yeah. She wanna mean a pretty but your heart is a miss. Play you like a villain cause she caught in a way. Tonight I am walking away. 9 to 5 mine and a grind. Yeah. Tonight I might fall in love. Depending on how you hold me. I'm glad that I'm calming down. Can't let no one come control me. Keep dancing and call it love. She fights it by falling slowly. If ever you are in doubt, remember what mama told me. Brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. Your back against the world. I never trade you for anybody else. A brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. The best thing in all the world. I never trade you for anybody else.
Pose like a trophy when Naomi's walking. She need an Oscar for the when my killers broke. Melanin too dark to throw her shade. She minds her business and winds her waist. Go like 24. Okay.
Tonight I might fall in love. Depending on how you hold me. I'm glad that I'm calming down. Can't let no one come control me. Keep dancing and call it love. She fighting but falling slowly. Wherever you are in doubt, remember what mama told me. Brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. Your back against the world. I never trade you for anybody else. A brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. The best thing in all the world. I never trade you for anybody else.
Have you looked in the mirror lately? Wish you could trade eyes with me. Cause there's complexities in complexion, but your skin is glow like diamonds. Dig me like the earth, you be giving birth to everything alive, baby, know your worth. I love everything about you, from your nappy curls to every single curve, your body natural. Same skin that was broken, be the same skin taking over. Most things out of focus view, but when you're in the room, they notice you. Cause you're beautiful. Yeah, you're beautiful. Them gon' fall in love with you in all of your glory. Your skin is not only dark, it shines and it tells your story. Keep dancing, they can't control you. They watching, they all adore you. If ever you are in doubt, remember what mama told you. Brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. Your back against the wall. I never trade you for anybody else. Say brown skin girl, your skin just like pearls. The best thing about the world. I never trade you for anybody else.
Skin girl, your skin just like pearls. Best thing in the world. I never trade you for anybody else. Singing.
Of course, that was Brown Skin Girl, and I think they got a Grammy or something for that one. And Blue Ivy, the little girl, got one as well. She's probably one of the youngest people to get a Grammy. So, we have in the studio our wonderful first guest, who is Rara, but also other named, as many of us are.
Yes, I am. Oh, hello.
So, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello. Well, I am Nafora Kar Sakmet. That is my spiritual name. And my working name is Nafora Kar Creative. But as I was saying earlier on, to cut all of that out, I just go for Rara.
So what does it mean?
Okay, so it's a Kushite name. Nafor means a good or positive aspect, basically. Good or positive aspect. And Ra is obviously the sun god. Then we have
Monra.
Then we have Ka, Ka, which
Soul.
is your spirit soul, and then Sekhmet is the deity, is my principal.
She's like the panther goddess,
She's
isn't
my
she?
pantheon. Yeah, she's a lioness goddess.
Yeah.
And
You're channeling that beautiful
she has her
energy.
story,
Hello.
whatever. So technically, it means positive aspect of Sekhmet. Now, she is very dread in many ways. Yeah, she has her very article side. She is a warrior goddess, a war goddess, but she's also a protector of women, men, and children.
If she doesn't like you, she'll take you out, basically.
Yeah, there are some good stories. I mean, even on Wikipedia, you can go and find some good stories about her, but you would understand why you would want to be called in the tone and the vibration of the positive aspects of her. And it was a very good journey for me to go on, because it did really draw out the higher vibration in my personality. So yes.
Beautiful. A name is so important.
Precisely.
Right, absolutely.
The vibration and the tone has elevated me. I can't even put words, I can't describe it, how it feels when you just get that tone and it starts to draw it out of you. It's a beautiful thing, yeah.
I have
And I
some
think
questions. I have a lot of questions.
Go on.
Okay, first question. What do you mean if you get called a tone? Does someone sing the tone at you?
Right, okay, so basically, I don't know if you've ever heard this concept of words are spells, words are spelling, yeah? So it's like got a spell and it has a tone and a vibration to it.
Yeah, words have
so
power.
we're talking about like African sciences here, Kemetic sciences, Kushite sciences. And every word has a tonality to like a vibration that it sits on. Obviously, like there's swear words and curse words that we already know they've got a vulgar tone. We can understand that it's very difficult to say certain things, and even if you say it in jest, we still understand it's crass or it's this or it's that, right?
Yeah.
So there's words that have a tone. Nafor, Ra is the sun. It's the sun god. Ra.
Also, language has it sets off. There's chemical responses to the shapes we make with our mouths and the sounds that come out that produce chemicals in our brain.
Well, this is what we were saying earlier. So, this idea that in Africa, the kind of very racist narrative about us speaking these stupid languages and blah, blah, blah. But actually, African languages, the tones are so important. And that's exactly what you're talking about.
Precisely.
Using the tone, the way you enunciate and everything has such a spiritual connection to energy.
Right.
It puts out energy.
When we talk about word sound power,
Precisely.
this is basically like the quickest way to get to the point. Word sound power.
Yeah.
When I was my government name, that was all fine, but it didn't have a message to it. It didn't have a tone to it. But me understanding Nafor, Ka, Sekhmet, it drew it out of me. And I was happy to take on that name once I understood what it meant, because I was a bit resistant at first.
I mean, that also, I think the name is a form of resistance and claiming, because I mean, like you think about Eben's name.
Yeah.
You've chosen a name that actually really means something for your daughter. And it's
absolutely. Well, also, I was going to say, you were talking earlier about people helping themselves to black women's bodies, touching our hair and all of this, wanting to touch on that. I think the self-naming and claiming who you are as opposed to who other people define you as is, it's such a powerful move. I changed my name coming up 20 years ago. Dropped certain parts of it that I didn't feel represented who I am. Yeah, there's a lot of power in naming yourself and claiming yourself through the sounds that are associated with that.
Yes. What about for you, Faye? Because your heritage is from Sierra Leone?
Yes.
And so your name, Faye, is a shortened version of your actual name?
Yes.
What's your actual name?
Go on.
Femata. It's my first name.
Right. So,
that's beautiful, by the way.
It is.
Thank you.
So, is it like important to have that name that represents your heritage?
Well, it's my name. Someone actually said to us before that language is a pact between the land and the people.
Wow.
Oh, I like that.
Which is quite interesting, because even African tribes, you could have like so many tribes in one country because they've all had traveled from different places or something. maybe, I don't know how.
Their own histories.
But again,
yeah.
even the language we use, because we talk about African tribes, why don't we talk about European tribes?
right.
You know, the
exactly.
Spanish and the Italian and the
Millwall.
French. Yeah, they're all,
Exactly.
yeah. They're all,
Millwall's a
There's
bloody tribe.
there's tribes everywhere. Yeah, that's a total misconception that
that just
Africans
we
or
are just
anyone have
everybody's a
tribes.
tribe.
It
Everyone.
We're
really
all
annoys
tribes.
me. Listen,
Yeah.
as an African person, right, when people go, oh, it's an African proverb, what does that even mean? That's like me saying, oh, it's a European proverb. What?
But it's
This
like,
is,
but it's like when
meaningless.
a person that looks like one of us commits a crime. Oh, a black woman did this. But when it's a white woman, nobody says, oh, a white. They say a woman.
Correct.
So it's this whole thing that the starting point for everything is always whiteness, and then we are others.
Oh yeah,
you know-
whiteness is the archetype. I was talking about this last night with some sisters as well, and talking about identity and how blackness has been put into the category of an identity, and the reason is because identity is always under attack. That's one of the easiest way to get to like a society or a community is to attack that identity. So there's a lot of emphasis on making sure that our blackness is part of our identity. There's a lot of work being put into that.
Yeah.
So
And it shouldn't really be, because actually it shouldn't. The fact that we are who we are should not matter. That we've been racialized.
Yeah.
Why are we black? Why we
Africans
not just
always say like,
I was having that. Sorry. go
no,
on.
it's cool. People like that are like born and raised in Africa. They always say that in Africa, black people aren't black. They're just
But
African.
people, right?
They're just people.
yeah, exactly.
You know.
precisely.
But I was having a conversation, like you, with some friends about the terms whiteness, blackness, and how we apply them, right? And we were talking about the ways in which we apply justice. We can't all necessarily be Martin Luther King or Malcolm X, do you know what I mean? But we can apply our own little justice and balance the scales in our own lives. And one of the ways that I balance the scales is to use the term white often completely pointlessly.
I love it.
So I'd say, oh yeah, that white guy walking down the road, was that relevant? No, it wasn't.
No, yeah.
No.
But it's done to everybody
Yeah.
except white. Do you know what I mean? So
It's like when they talk about, I talk about whitewashing and white mailing. I mean, I literally
all the time.
Why
Oh,
not?
my one I love at the moment that I'm coining is PNOC.
people
Oh, yeah.
not of color.
Yes.
People of no colour.
Oh, people of
PONC. Yes. No colour. That's my new one that I'm coining because it's like, well,
How are we people of color? What colors
Well,
are we?
let's go with
Green,
That's it.
orange.
That's what I mean. It's completely
'Cause there's-
arbitrary. So
yeah.
if you're going to apply that to, I'm just going to apply. I know so many people that I know are really wound up by it, but until I do it, they don't realize that they've
there's not a
been doing
reflection
that.
of.
But they've been
yeah,
doing
there's
that.
not
They
a
told me
reflection
about
of the history.
Right, you've
of
been
the
telling me about
behaviour.
the Indian guy down the road.
Forever,
That was not
since.
pertinent, but you've been doing it. So
Yeah.
I'm going to apply that same logic to you, and hopefully you'll see something
You're on a
from
mission.
that.
Yeah, well, why does it
Yeah.
matter if the guy's Indian? Well, now, of course, our Prime Minister, well, that's another conversation.
Oh.
So, Isis, what do you do if a white person is like really sensitive about the whole race subject? Because I feel like
Well,
some,
that's their issue. That's not mine.
Yeah, that was
I'm not
very
responsible for that.
but you know, some white people are like, they just feel like they want to burst into tears every time.
Well, I don't do right
A black
fragility.
person
Way,
mentions
do you
that
mean-
they're
that's the
black.
In what way? In a way of sensitivity, empathy,
Fra-
or
black.
sense, or
Was it
sense-
white fragility they call
or
it
is
now?
it
Fragility,
Yeah, but,
exactly.
I would cry if I was on there. Being the person I am now, if the shoe was on the other foot, I would cry for the atrocities. Looking back, I'd be sad for the people that went through hell. I'd be embarrassed, so I'd be crying
Yeah.
a lot. To be honest, I really would. So I don't think it's fair to just put everyone in the category of like, what did you say, white fragility. I don't think it's 100% fair to put every single one of them inside that
Oh
category.
no, but it's never every single one. It's always
Yeah.
whenever we speak in general terms, because all of us, I'm sure, have
That's
got
why I was
like, you know.
interested in what way would you see this, someone crying or being really sensitive about it?
Like, if you
I
bring
don't
up
have
the
time for
topic,
it.
if you bring the topic of slavery up to some people, like, they will literally just
Start to
It's just
But
it's
then-
too difficult to comprehend.
But how is it then? I'm
what, are they
going to
in
throw this
denial?
in very often. The very white people that can't comprehend talking about the enslavement of our ancestors, they can comprehend the Holocaust that happened to the Jewish community.
Yeah.
They can comprehend anti-Semitism, but they don't get Afrophobia. So that is a problem in itself. That is about the fact that we are not given the same level of humanity as other people,
Precisely.
and that's their issue. It's not
Precisely.
ours.
But also, a lot of people don't necessarily realize that things have, for the whole of their life, applied to everybody but the group that they belong to. So when you turn it around on them, no matter how gently you do it, that can hurt them. The fact that it hurts doesn't mean it's a bad thing.
Anytime you shake someone's reality, you're going to get a response, right? Because you're actually shattering their reality. And you're not replacing it with anything. You know, you're just leaving an empty gap now. Like, what you're replacing it with, the harsh reality, you're not really wanting to walk into that. So I can understand, you know, I think we do, I think we need to keep talking, let's keep having the conversation.
Absolutely.
And I think we need to let them have their own processes.
And their own conversations.
Their own processes.
Yeah.
But that's,
Yeah, because we can't worry about their processes, to be honest. Yeah, that's how I see it.
Exactly, you know.
And I mean, I'll be honest, as somebody of my age and the eldest here in this group, and you know, I don't have the energy and the capacity and the time to be concerned about every single person and every
their
single group. I have to
feelings,
Feel about
prioritize people of African heritage, women of
Yes.
African heritage. I have
Yes.
to. I'm
Yeah.
I'm just going with who I am.
Yeah.
You know, I have two daughters, two black women, so I have to prioritize that. I'm not to say I'm going to ignore, you know, I'm going to treat people badly or anything, but I'm going to prioritize the interests of my people. That's me.
Let's talk about the hair.
But before we do that, I want to play one of Amber's tracks because I feel like it just like speaks to what we're talking about right now.
Excellent.
Do you know which one it is?
I owe you nothing.
Yeah.
Yes,
play that.
And I love. Is this the bros? Which
No.
I owe you nothing, is it?
No, I owe you nothing. By Senai Bose, I believe.
Yeah. That's the one.
I owe you nothing. I be myself and I ain't frontin'. And no. I owe you nothing. I be myself and I ain't frontin'. And no. I don't have to smile for you. I don't have to move for you. I don't have to dance, monkey dance, monkey dance, monkey dance for you. See, I won't help you understand. I don't need no helping hand. No, see, these aren't tears. This is the ocean. These aren't fears. This is devotion. I owe you nothing. I be myself and I ain't frontin'. And no. I owe you nothing. I be myself and I ain't frontin'. And no. I don't have to walk for you. I don't have to talk to you. See, I'm not on display. Never was, never will, ever be for you. I won't help you understand. I don't need no helping hand. No, see, these aren't tears. This is the ocean. These aren't fears. This is devotion. Why you always have to try me? You're thinking I'm gonna follow blindly. Why you always have to try me? You think that I'm gonna follow blindly. Say, oh, let me down easy. Baby, let me down easy. Let me down easy. I owe you nothing. I be myself and I ain't frontin'. And no. I owe you nothing. I
was that by?
That was Sinaibo Say.
And why did you choose it? I mean, obviously it was perfect for where we were talking.
Yeah, I grew up, I spent part of my childhood in Sweden, and this young lady is, I believe, half Swedish and half Ghanaian. And yeah, I wish she'd have been around when I was young, and she would have been like a life buoy. I would have just been hanging on that thing, floating through my childhood. Whoops.
Well, you never know. She might be listening. Somebody might tell her about you. Maybe
Yes.
she needs to link you, and you need to give her some of your life experience.
Oh, bless.
Isis. I like your name a lot. It's music. Can we have some music while we talk as well?
Yes, I can do that. So let's get back to the question you asked, Rara, and also maybe can you tell our listeners a little bit about what you do?
Oh, well,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes, because
Okay,
I mean,
so
like,
I'm a creative. Okay, I'm a creative. I'm going to say I'm a creative. I've got a dance background. I went to Brits Performing Arts. I did performing arts, stage, whatever they call it, their stage studies and dancing. I then went on to do fitness. I had a full career in dance fitness, but I was still doing a bit of TV work, like extra work here and there, blah, blah, blah. I had a great career in teaching fitness for some great brands and whatnot. I started a few of my own projects, and now I'm currently running a dance fitness brand of my own named Walk Up Academy, which
Walk
is
Up.
soca and dancehall fitness. It's a carnival preparation. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm relaunching. I was sick for a little while in 2019. I had lymphoma, cancer. I'm in remission now. I've been in remission since 2020. Give thanks.
Nice.
yes, give thanks to the
but-
ancestors.
Thank you. But I've just been repairing my body and,
Good health and long life to you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, so I'm just trying to do restructure things because I'm not as physically able as I was before. So I'm just trying to restructure my brand, take it slowly, do what I can. But I do have other pursuits in creative directing, soca music videos, dance visuals, and moving on. I'm trying to get into theatre will be the next step for me, I think, once I get this relaunch.
Will you bring the soca and the dance hall into theatre?
Can I just say,
I don't want to talk too much about that.
I've seen some of your dance, your soca training videos, and she's our baddest. Yeah, absolute baddest.
Where can we find these? Shout
Okay.
out your handles.
Okay, my handles is at Walk Up Academy everywhere.
And Walk Up
Or,
is spelt?
WUKUP Academy.
Walk Up.
Yeah, Walk Up. Walk Up your yes.
Walk Up now.
Academy. And if you want to find me personally, like more of my creative stuff and just me babbling on, it will be at Rara9KA. That's Rara9KA. Everywhere else as well, like all the different platforms.
Well, we're going to get you to shout it out again before you leave us.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And how did you two meet? Because there was a lovely Amber who introduced.
Is that what it was? It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
All right, well, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
You like a bit of bacchanal.
Do you know what? Actually, thinking about it, I remember how we met. We met at the Tabernacle when my daughter was over here talking to various children, and she was actually the only black girl in that crew of children. And there was some rare. And, I did that mother thing that you do where you kind of automatically tell off your child. And Rara went, nope, not doing that. I heard it all. It was not your child. And I was, I remember it because I was like, you know what? That's how I should have turned up for my kid, actually. And I just did the whole Eben, be good. Yeah. And actually, she was being good. And I was well impressed with you that day.
Eben, did you hear that?
Yeah, man.
Yes, Eben.
Auntie Rara.
Turned up for my girl. Yeah, man. Yeah, enough respect.
Well, there we go.
Isis, what does your name mean, please?
Oh, Isis is the bastardization of the name Aset, which is the Kemetic name. And Isis, so it's a Greek bastardization. The Greeks have stolen all our names and changed them.
Perversion.
Yeah, perversion. So it should be Aset, or so an Aset, and it's the creation story from ancient Kemet.
Yes.
Aset is
We're
the
learning all
goddess,
sorts of things
The moon.
today.
and Osir is the god, and they're actually brother and sister. They're actually the children of Ra.
Ra, yeah,
There's
the
4
moon.
of them. There's Set, who's chaos, and Oso and Set have a child, and that child is actually Heru,
Yes.
which is a root of the term hero. And it's interesting because, you know, I watch a lot of science fiction and fantasy, and I've been watching The House of the Dragon, and the Targaryens,
Yeah.
the brothers and sisters always have children together, and it's like, oh my God, it's incest. And it's interesting because in the creation myth, they are brother and sister, but they never actually have sex. Seth kills Osor, or Osiris, and chops his body up into, I can't remember, 99 pieces, I think. And Set, she takes the Anubis, the dog,
Yes.
you often see that
The
dog,
gatekeeper
the gatekeeper of the underworld.
That they turned into Hades, didn't they?
Yes, so exactly, Greeks again. And basically go along the river of death, as it were, or the underworld, and she finds all the pieces of Osiris and puts them back together. But the only piece she doesn't find is his penis. Yeah, but somehow she still gets pregnant. So that story of the virgin pregnancy is actually the precursor to the Christian thing about the Virgin Mary. So there you go. It's a long story. I bet you wish you didn't ask that question. Though.
Well, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you asked it.
I love a good story.
Education all over the place
So
today.
if you check out the pantheon, if you check out the Kemetic pantheon, Medinetta pantheon, and all the different deities, you know, listen, and all you have to do is look at the name and then just go onto the internet and just go, oh, this name, and you're just going to see so many different stories. It's very, very interesting, and you might just see yourself in some of those characters.
You will see yourself.
And, well, me just saying, I'm being gentle, right? You might see yourself, and you might learn a thing or two, and it might help you out in your guidance system.
And also, you basically, if you look at the ancient, like you said, the book of the coming by day and by night, the Meta Necha, you will see all the stories that we see in Christianity, even in Islam. They were taken from ancient Egypt. Remix.
This is the remix.
This is the remix. It really is. So you mentioned, Rara, we were talking a little bit about the hand in the head business. Have any of you sisters had an experience where a white woman, predominantly, not so much a white man, I think they might be a little bit less so, but comes along and puts their hand in your head and touches you like some sort of pet?
I'm going to say no so that I can just jump out quickly. I'm not going to say that I remember any particular stories, but I do have one about someone touching my lips.
Oh dear!
So
Oh
since we're
God!
not
Oh
talking
my
about that, we'll
God.
save that for whenever you
No, I want to hear the lips.
Yeah, we want to hear
It's not
the
just about it's about the
ownership of self.
Yes,
yeah.
So basically, I was in the first year junior. I think they called that year 6 or year 5 now. I think they call that something like that. It was first year juniors back in the 80s, right? And I changed school, and they put me to sit next to Janina Carroll. Now, mind you, this school was in Feltham.
Oh,
If you
Lord.
don't know anything about Feltham,
Oh, I
in the
know Feltham.
1980s,
Oh, my
no,
God.
It wasn't even in Feltham, it was in
Is it like-
Hanworth, more or less.
Where's that, suburbs?
Past Feltham. Yeah, you don't know
I
Feltham
don't know
Remand
it.
Centre and all that up there?
No.
Feltham was
Past
Feltham
Okay.
was so racist. That was literally skinhead. Oh my God!
I actually lived about 500 yards away from the NF headquarters.
Yeah.
Okay, just
Oh,
to let you
God.
understand.
And there was a barracks there full of these racist squaddies as well. I worked in a
Right.
pub for a while up there.
Okay.
Oh,
so
my God.
You see what's going on. So I'm in Feltham, but I'm in Roman Catholic school, and they put me next to Janina Carroll, and Janina Carroll turns over, looks at me in the face, very curious, leans forward very, very slowly, points out her finger like at E.T. and
bite it?
presses my lip
Oh my
and
God.
pulls her and presses my lip and pulls her finger back quick, like, what is that? And she presses the thing and she pull it back. And I didn't say nothing to Janina Carroll. I just left it, but it has something that
But
I'll
it
always
stayed
remember.
with you forever.
When we got the Facebook days and everyone started to reconnect with the old school, as you did, and whatever, I had an opportunity to tell her about that. And she apologized, but we was cool. I understood. She had never seen a black person in her life.
Wow.
Much less these beautiful,
Yeah, no.
Those
you know what I mean?
gorgeous
Gorgeous
lips.
lips, man.
The white women are putting fillers in to get.
I'm telling you, they hated me so much talking about rubber lips. If we pop your lips, will you fly around this room?
my
All kind of
days.
things, and they terrorized me.
No, I can
But
agree with that.
now
yeah.
it's literally like Come on, don't even.
When I remember when I was young, like in school and stuff, for years I got bullied for my lips. So one day I got a nail filer. I tried to file my lips down.
Oh no!
Yeah.
You see, this is where it just stops being funny. Not that that was funny, but you understand. Like, it's the harm that children do to themselves on the back of this stuff.
I had the exact opposite effect. The way I got treated had the exact opposite effect on me. I would literally go home, look in the mirror and be like, phew, thank God I'm black. Because you have to understand, I genuinely felt like the questions I was getting asked and the things they were saying was so asinine and stupid. Like, I just thought their ignorance was like, I know so much about you lot. You lot are asking me, why is your hair so greasy? I don't know. Why is your hair so greasy? You know, I would give them clapbacks like that because, you know, white people ain't supposed to have greasy hair. So I just had it had the opposite effect on me. Being out there, getting all of that was like, whew.
See, I
What about you? Because you were in the middle of the whiteyest white place you could
I
be.
was in Whitesville.
Whitesville, yeah.
And funny enough, I mean, I'm very light-skinned, and I've got sort of.
Well, your hair is very European as well.
Well, isn't it? Isn't
No,
it?
I mean,
it's Euro-presenting.
Yeah.
Let's
Oh, I
say.
like that actually. Euro-presenting. It's ambiguous.
But two things I'd like to say about that.
Non-binary hair.
No, one is that as a child, nobody really needed to touch my hair, but I used to get asked if my mother used me as a mop. That was the thing. Does she turn you on your head to wipe the floor?
Yes.
And the other thing is that you know all those shampoo adverts?
Yes.
You know you got the before and the after?
Oh, yeah.
I'm the before every time.
After.
I am the hair white people desperately need a product to avoid.
Oh, got you. I understand.
Oh,
yes,
right,
I understand
because
your
you see
point.
what I mean?
Yeah, I understand
Yeah.
your point. Yeah.
So every
This is
single
this
is what they're trying to
fix.
get
It's so
away
true.
from.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So
Yes.
from small, I was like, oh, does your hair frizz? Does it da 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 da? And I'm going, but that's
my
me.
hair.
That's what my hair looks like on a good day. Oh,
On a good day.
Oh, see, all right, okay.
Yeah. Okay,
But, yeah.
But see, going along that line, I will say yes, definitely, because I just had standard Afro, middle of the road sort of hair, right? And it would grow pretty long and whatnot. And then one of them good times, I decided to get a relaxer. I think I was, 14, and Mum was like, yeah, you can get a relaxer now. So I got the relaxer, and I would try to slick it down like the white girls, because what it is now, the white girl's hair does fall at the back, and it swings like a little horsey tail. But I want now,
It
relaxer
doesn't.
or not, it's just sticks
It's not
up.
doing that.
So
yeah.
then, when I used to try and slick it now, the edges used to stick up by the end of the
Oh my
school
God,
day.
mine used to always
But
be
listen
frizzing
now,
up.
They used to call me Sonic the Hedgehog. They used to call me Sonic. Go Sonic! That's what they used to say.
Oh my
Go
days.
Sonic.
What about when you had locks? Because when I had locks, this thing that happened to me not long ago is ridiculous at my age, is going on in 2022. But when I had locks in my 20s, I would have people trying to,
Yeah, of course.
to touch them.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, actually,
Certainly.
yes, quite a lot of
Which
that.
is
yeah.
really, that's really disrespectful.
Do you know? I found that a lot of people read it as having chosen a side. I mean, if we're being honest, I had chosen that side already. Yeah, but the hair let
Them
all the
know.
white people know that I
It's a
had
uniform
chosen a
now.
side.
It's like a uniform.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was black before that happened, yeah, but
It was
it
like a
let
uniform.
people know that, and it was a kind of treachery that they weren't happy to forgive me for a lot of the
Actually,
time.
yeah, you must have, because my hair is much more African than your hair, but it's not very tight. And
Right.
I actually had people saying to me, from Trinidadians and family members,
You could fix it.
but why would you do that? You have nice hair.
Oh,
yeah.
Why you do that to your hair?
I got a lot of that as well.
You're like, what?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Can I? Right. So you've got black daughters. You've got a black daughter.
Yes.
I don't know if you've got any children, but
Not
can
yet.
Can I ask you, ladies? I've got a daughter who's 13, struggling with the hair and how it represents her and her relationship with it. Have you got any advice for the likes of me?
I told my daughter straight up and down, your hair is your connection, it's magic, arete, akaka. I told her the whole
How old
spiel.
is your daughter?
I told my daughter when she was a teenager. She's
Yeah.
going to be 26 next year.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
So she's the
January.
same age as mine.
Right.
You look too young to have a.
I know,
No,
right, it's not right.
I'm sorry. We can't have this.
She got a mirror and
No.
painting in the
Yeah,
attic.
Yeah, listen.
Yes.
No, honestly, she's going to be 26 in January. And this was when she was very young, and she knew I was going to classes and whatnot, and she was kind of into the spiritual mode. You know, she was coming along with me to some degree, yeah. And I basically told her about her spiritual power and blah, 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 and how you know, the hair magnetic to the earth. You know, gave her the whole, everything about your black girl magic, basically. And I told her that if you relax your hair, it will just lower your
vibration.
It
Did
just
it
lower your
work?
vibration.
Yeah.
It did work for a little while, and then after the Kim Kardashian sort of time came in, and then she just, you know, was just on this weave.
Right, I have the same thing. My youngest is going to be 27 next month. My eldest is 28. She'll be 29 in February. They had dreadlocks. We were all Rasta conscious family. And then when my eldest was about 7, she kept getting head lice because she's got quite soft hair, and it was like, so then we cut the locks out because it was constantly trying to take out the head lice, and she just had cane rows and stuff, natural. She's always been natural with her hair. She's never put in, she does put in the odd extension now, but she never does anything really particularly. You know, my eldest daughter, she's very, very, the younger one went through, she got to 13, and suddenly there was the weave and the wigs. But, you know, to her credit, and Amber's taught me this, actually a wig is like a hat. It's like a decoration. It's like extra makeup. And to her credit, she's never actually ever put any chemicals in her hair. All she's ever done is like iron comb it, put on a wig or have a weave. So,
well, do you know what? Funnily enough about the wigs, right? It took me the longest time to start using wigs because I felt that I wasn't black enough, and that this is a black woman special blessing. Like, this is their domain, that they get to just switch it up however they want, right? And I was so jealous. And then one day I was like, jealous for what, man? I could just go and get the wig and wear it. Yeah. But what I say to my daughter is that a crown will weigh more than a tiara. And it will require more upkeep.
Exactly.
That's true.
Yeah,
it's so true.
She does not want to hear that.
I mean,
She
look,
doesn't.
here's my perspective on extensions, weaves, extensions, all this sort of stuff, right? My hair is natural. And I had chemo, remember, so I didn't have nothing a couple of years ago. I mean, I had no eyelashes. I didn't have even baby hair on my face, yeah?
Wow, goodness.
And my hair's come back, you know, wicked. I'm very proud of it. But if you look at Africa or somewhere like that, there's a lot of places where if you're wearing your natural hair, especially the young children, it's actually just cut to about 1 inch.
Yeah.
No one ain't trying to be into this, you know, combing your hair every minute, keeping your hair out. When you see people see you going down the road, especially men, and they see your glorious afro, and they're like, oh, you know, why don't you wear your hair like this more often? It's like, my hair wouldn't be like this if I wore it like this more often.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that is another thing, what you say about protection. I mean, that's why we wrap our hair, we cover it. That's why in ancient Kemet, when they found the mummies and stuff, they found that a lot of them had wigs or locks.
Right.
There's certain protective hairstyles because you do have to look after your hair.
But I don't, my sister or my mom, like back in the day, you know, your sisters or your mom or whoever's around will plait your hair.
Yeah.
Like, someone's going to do your hair. It's not going to cost you like £60 every time you have to change
I
your
had
hair.
plaits till I was about 13.
You know, we have to spend a lot of, things are different now. We didn't even need a license to do Afro-Caribbean hair. They've changed all that up. Now it costs.
Do you need a license now?
Yes. You know, to do Afro-Caribbean hair, you need a license. Even in America now, to do braids and stuff like this, you need a license.
Wow.
This stuff is monetized
I
now.
didn't know that.
These natural community bonding activities, traditions and activities are now monetized. Things are different.
And often by outside the community as well.
outside of community.
Yeah. Shall we play a track?
Yes.
Let's.
I think I'm going to save your one for a moment. I'm just going to play a little girl thing.
One of them days when I wanna be all alone. It's just one of them days when I gotta be all alone. It's just one of them days. Don't take it personal. Just wanna be all alone. Think I treat you wrong. I wanna take some time out to think things through. I know it always feels like I'm doing you wrong, but I'm so in love with you. So understand that I'm only in love, you're the only one I need. So have no thought that I want to leave, and baby trust me please.
Yeah, don't take it personal, people. Don't take it personal. It's
not.
all about us, our experiences.
Yeah.
Shall we put a little underscore on while we're talking there? Yes. So, where were we?
Where were we? Oh, we're all completely lost now. We were talking about hair and crowns and family connections.
We'll talk about the wig and
Yes,
how,
the wig.
You know,
Yes, and
you
protected
felt
the
like
hair.
an imposter when you was wearing the wigs for the first time, and then you took on the wigs.
Yeah, now I've got like 20 of them. I love them.
Yeah,
man.
Do you know what? I would talk about the wig experience for me is that I felt like wearing a wig was offending my blackness, to be honest. I didn't really want to wear a wig because I just felt like it just wasn't natural enough. But I started to wear like curly extensions and stuff like that because I just couldn't get around to ever wearing a straight wig.
Yeah.
Like at one time I had this weave and it was straight, and I felt so embarrassed when I looked at the pictures. I just thought I looked like a clown. And
I love wearing costumes sometimes. I just like, when I realised I love wearing costumes, I was like, I'm wearing that wig, okay, I'm gonna get that one and like different colours and
right.
like.
I like wearing costumes as well, but I think that maybe I was taking the straight wig too seriously at that point. You know what I'm saying? I was taking it too serious. And
I do get what you mean though, because it's strange that like mainstream black women always mostly have straight hair, like European hair.
Yeah.
But then, it's been made kind of unprofessional and all this nonsense that, you get punished for natural hair.
Women have been told not to come in with their natural... Well, actually, when I was at school in St. Mark's and I was 13, and I had when my hair was long, I mean, it was long, it was obviously bushy and whatever else, I used to always have it in plaits, either up, Princess Leia style, or down 2 plaits. And one day, for whatever, her hair came out, and I couldn't plait. My grandmother used to plait it for me because she lived with us. And so I went into the home economics lesson with my hair out, and the teacher literally said, "Is this some kind of joke?" and threw me out for having my natural hair. And I was literally put out of the lesson. And then literally dashed out of the lesson.
Is this some kind of joke?
No, okay.
1979, mate.
I mean,
Hounslow, 1979.
Okay, my brother got kicked out. I was just saying before, my brother actually got
St.
kicked out
Mark's
of that
racist
very same
RC school
for wearing cane rows in his hair, and I went ballistic. He got suspended actually, and my mum actually.
Was this in the newspaper?
No, my mum went down for it. She was like, "Oh, yeah," and I was like, "No, fuck." I've been Angela Davis has been in my spirit since I've been very young, and they've always disliked me for it. But I was like, "No, don't have this. Come on, let's go down there."
No way.
She was like, "No, just be quiet. This is why they don't want us in their stuff, because we always create a fuss."
But you know what?
Yeah.
But here's the thing, in their stuff, right? I was reading an article not 6 months ago about South Africa and how how they have just made it acceptable in an African nation to have African hairstyles on African school children.
It's too archaic.
Listen,
right
in
now.
America, we
gone too far.
and that's in 2021 or whenever it
too
was.
archaic. It's way too on a serious level. It is way too archaic. We need to activate something, some sort of pressure, some sort of cancellation. We need to use Twitter, do what we have to do. But it's actually, we can't be in 2022 right now where if someone wants to wear a skirt to school and they're a boy and all this and la-da-da, okay, I'm cool with that. I don't care.
Yeah,
but
do
why
you?
can't we, if all that's happening, why
Our
can't,
own countries.
Why can't
Sorry.
we
Be your natural self.
hair?
Yeah.
We have
Well, look,
to
in
press
America,
this
African women
issue.
were banned from having their natural hair out.
That's right.
Remember, we had to have our heads wrapped. But also, you see, the hair is a very powerful thing because the maps. We used to actually, African Americans used to plait the style in a particular way that would show people who were going to escape for enslavement how to go. So there's always been a power as
Ingenious.
well in our hair.
And a beauty, because a lot, like in the Caribbean colonies and whatnot, black women were told to wrap their hair because they were stunning.
Yeah.
And it was distracting.
But you know that when they started to wrap their hair and started to look more beautiful, then that was another problem. Did you hear about that part? They started to wrap their hair, they started to realise, oh no, you're looking
You're still beautiful.
Yeah, you're even more beautiful now. Boys, there's nothing they can
to
What
do.
to
Even I'll
do,
give you another
what
little
to
fact. You know the 1800s dresses with the big
The bustle.
bustle, yeah.
That was to emulate the shape of a black, African
Of
body,
African
woman's
queen.
body.
They literally, white men were so unattracted to white women's shapes that they literally, the women came up with this to create it. I
No,
mean,
but
that's
the
why-
obsession with
Oh.
black
Keep it up.
women was
It's
too
called keep
far
it up.
because they used to actually have human zoos.
Yes.
Oh my days.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
start talking about
Yeah.
No one wants to
Sarah
talk
Bartman.
about that, but
Yes.
like, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's some
Yes.
crazy story.
But I'll tell you what, you was talking about your own Trinidadian family as well. It doesn't just come from the outside, it does come from my own community.
The
'Cause
call
I
is
remember
coming from
when I
inside the
was,
house.
When I was going to a business course for women, right, it was for black women, it was a community run thing, and it was a very great course, I'm not going to lie. But there was all black sisters in there, let's put it that way, including the teacher. And I came in, and I used to wear my hair very natural back in the day. Even when it is natural now, but you know what I mean, yeah? It was, big afros and all this, and, your hair looks all right, and whatever. And sometimes never even got a word. One day, I came in with this wig. I can only describe it as like a pixie sort of cut, like a straight sort of pixie cut kind of weave, right? And it was like curly. No, it wasn't that. It was like more of a Farrah Fawcett type of thing.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's what you had going on. It was more of a Farrah Fawcett type of thing going on. And I walked in, and every single one, oh my God, your hair looks lovely. And I didn't respond.
I get offended.
I didn't
Yeah.
respond. That's right. I
offended.
didn't respond as they thought I was going to respond. I was just like, thinking, is it really? I see what you lot are dealing with. And I sat down. And she says, underwhelmed then by the compliment. And I was like, no, I'm okay. I didn't really bring up the subject matter, but I thought, hell no, am I going to get gassed over you wanting me to look more like a European
That's
woman?
it.
Hell no, am I going to get gassed over that?
I mean, I get that compliment all the time, and I find it's an uncomfortable place for me, because on the one hand, I recognize you're trying to be nice to me, and I appreciate that. But I also see the underlying programming, and I don't want to co-sign that rubbish.
Man,
Do you know?
when I wear my bob like this, and I wear my fringe, straight fringe bob, long black, going down, looking like a Morticia type of black. Listen, you should have seen them. Oh gosh, girl, it's the best hairstyle you ever seen. Oh gosh, girl.
You look nice.
Oh, girl, you're looking real
You
nice.
look
girl.
nice,
girl. Do you understand, yeah? And I'm just thinking, look at you lot. And I just can't get gassed
No,
over.
I'm with you.
No, I've never been able to get into the wigs. My mother wore them all the time. My mother was a very beautiful woman, and she had her she's kind of she's a black woman, but she had a bit of a mix. So when she'd put on her straight wigs, the 70s style, she used to call her coolie gal, like it was a compliment. Like, now you don't have this African hair, you got the straight hair, so you're looking more beautiful than ever. Yeah. And I think for me, that's why I've never really,
gone for that.
Yeah.
See, this is my wig collection, is everything from the straightest thing to the biggest afro. I have, having claimed myself, I now have given myself permission. Do you know what I mean?
You made me think about wigs differently, because I remember we were having this, we were walking down to Shepherd's Bush and having this conversation, and the way you put it to me, I was like, actually,
keep your head warm.
Just put on a hat. And I remember my friend would always say to me, when I get up in the morning, because she works in law and she's got quite African hair, black woman, she was like, I just pull on the wig, it's like a hat. I don't have to fix my hair, it's just in cane rows and boof, gone.
Right. Well, I tell you, when I came into my own with wigs, when I made it all right for myself to wear wigs, was one of them years when I got my hair pressed, right? I had been growing my hair out, and I just went to my cousin, she just pressed it for me. And my hair was so straight, right? I started to realize to myself that, hold on, why am I limiting myself as to what look I can go for? Where technically my hair
can
is
do
the
that.
most versatile.
Yeah.
It can do everything. And you know what it is now? I've moved in from one construct into another now, thinking that, I can't do that because it's going to represent this, and I need to stop wearing a uniform for the sake of everybody else, like so they can identify with who I am, what I am. You don't need to worry about what I am, who I am, by what I'm wearing or anything on the outside.
But this is it.
Yeah, I got over it.
Not doing something because of other people's feelings and judgments and opinions is the same as doing something for other people's judgments and opinions.
Yeah, it is a converse.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. And yeah, like I said, that day when I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna just try it. Let me see how it goes, because at the end of the day, it is helpful, and but I do stick to most natural styles. I'll be honest. If I am gonna have hair extensions, I do tend to stick to things that look more, natural.
Well, things you find beautiful.
Exactly that.
You know what you just said about like doing things for other people's approval. I think the stereotype of black women being like loud or aggressive and things like that. I feel like that's the reason why people really don't like that, because when black women I did that because I'm quite a docile person, like even though if it's extreme enough then I can be upset, but I'm quite docile most of the time.
You're a gentle person.
Yeah, and I don't want. I got to after a certain age. I was like, I want people to think I'm nice. Like, I don't want people to be offended by me or like to feel. So sometimes I might, not now anyway, but before I was much more like accommodating of.
But do you know what? I think that's a journey. Like you're quite young.
Yeah.
And I felt the same way when I was your age. I wanted to,
I didn't.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I did.
Some black women are happy to the stereotype
me down,
but
it doesn't mean anything to them. It's just like,
but I think everyone has a journey to find themselves and reach themselves, right? Wherever you started from, whoever you are, and then you've got, for black women, that journey is compounded with politics and the expectations.
Not that I don't think I'm nice.
With blackness.
I think I am very nice.
I hope you think.
But sometimes I'm like, should I be aggressive? Should I be nice? Should I be like?
No, but be who you are.
Bamboozled by the different messages that are coming from every single different angle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we cannot keep on letting ourselves get bamboozled by all these different messages. We've got messages coming from our own community about how we're supposed to look, act, think, talk, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. Then we've got this feminist thing going on, like the European concept of how a feminine woman's supposed to be. A lot of our black men are jumping on that wavelength. We've just got it coming from all angles.
Opinions non-stop. I feel like that's one of the hallmarks of being a black woman, is constantly having opinions being shared with you about you that you didn't ask for.
Well, we are politicized. Everything, like I said, everything about us, our hair, our lips, our bodies, everything.
That's what I mean. You've got the basic journey of just being a person. Then you've got the added weight of politics.
And then black women are like, oh, you're black, so you're strong. It's like, sorry, I'm strong. I'm strong for me and the people that I love. You don't need to call me strong.
But oftentimes,
do you know what I mean? Like, show me the same respect that you'd show to any other woman who's not black.
Okay, well,
like, don't just be like, oh, you're black, you're strong. You're like,
but oftentimes
let me test
people
your
use
strength,
that. But oftentimes people use that to mean, oh, here, I'm going to lay some extra stuff on your shoulders to carry because you're strong.
I'm not a mule and a donkey. So
do you know what I mean?
When I went to the hospital to have some teeth out after the chemo and whatnot, I started to come up with this new concept now. And every time I go in for some operation or treatment or this, they always, want you to sign papers and sign your life away technically, evade all responsibility if it all goes wrong. And so they say, is there anything else you'd like the surgeon to know? And I always say, yes, tell him I am not a strong black woman. And they look at me and I say, write it down. Write in that little box, I am not a strong black woman.
Do you know what? That's
and
really
I think that speaks enough.
This
is enough. We'll just leave it there.
Historically, they don't give us enough anesthetic.
Doc, we'll leave it there.
Pain medication, they give less to us.
I said to my daughter, my grandmother said to me when I was growing up, and I've told my daughter, if you go to the doctor and they ask you, where's the pain on a scale from 1 to 10? Let's say it's a 3, tell them it's a 9. Yeah, tell them it's a 9 because you're a black woman. They think for reasons that you are more capable of withstanding pain, or you don't feel it, or it doesn't bother you as much, which is why black women die in childbirth, like
exponentially
significantly more than white women.
Shout out to that documentary on Netflix, Aftershock. It's absolutely horrific, but it tells the story about deaths in childbirth of African American women, and show talking about the statistics.
Check it out.
Can we just play your track?
Yes.
And who is it by and what's it called?
Well, it's by Tidra Moses. It's called Complex Simplicity, and it's really a kind of uplifting song that encourages me. And basically, a lot of the lyrics relate to my story. So, you know, it's a bit emotional for me, but I absolutely adore this track.
Go for it. That's a beautiful track, sis.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
We're loving it.
Thank you.
Loving the music.
That one helps me bring out the tears. You know, when you need to have a good cry, or you need to sing at the top of your lungs and all of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to put something on in the background, maybe a little bit of Calypso Rose. What do you think as an underscore? This is her version in the background. Our underscore is of her doing I Say a Little Prayer. which is not a track we normally associate with Calypso Rose.
Right.
No.
Yeah, but we were just talking about hair in our sisters and African American sisters. But so this hair thing is a topic, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is. It's a massive subject. We could sit here all week and not run out.
Oh, we could also talk about black men standing outside and trying to distract me from doing what I'm doing. No, he sneaks off now.
Always try to distract us from what we're doing.
Those brothers. Well, we started off the conversation talking about distractions, didn't we? Tanya Stevens and all of that.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Well, I was going to ask actually about the politics at the moment, because now we have Rishi Sunak in power. What does that mean for us? Because obviously he's an Indian man, so he's Asian. He's a Hindu, and he counts as apparently a person of color, which I find a very strange term, a POC.
Well, I don't know. As a person of colour, I have to say it has its place. but okay.
Yeah. I don't think it means anything for us different than anything has ever meant for us, basically. I don't think there's no agenda or manifesto that would basically change our situation to any significance.
No.
So it wouldn't be specific to our community. Put it that way.
I do think black women or black people, but specifically black women, I think we live in a completely different planet. Like it's not the same reality. Like it's just different. Life is different. Like politics, I don't know if it applies to black women in the same way. That I feel like we have, obviously politics makes the laws and all those things, so it applies because it affects us. But I don't know how considerate it is.
There's no consideration specifically for
we have no
our
agency.
Community, whether you got women, black people, anything that we could narrow it down to our specific community.
What about Kemi Badenoch?
Who? What?
No, I don't know Kemi Badenoch.
I've never heard of it.
Name.
she's in the party in the front bench with
God.
She's just awful. She's the one who says that critical race theory is a problem.
Okay, what's her role? What's her role?
She was the Minister for Equalities at one point. I'm not even sure what her role is.
Is the word stooge? Is that
Stooge,
the word I'm
I
looking for?
I think stooge might be a good one.
I mean, there's been a lot of that recently, where they are basically putting up figureheads in the government, people that are meant to make us feel like we're being represented. Suella Braverman, whatever her name is.
Priti Patel.
Yeah, Priti Patel. She's not representing me. I do not feel represented.
No, I do not one bit.
Yeah, it's a terrible thing. And when what's his name,
Poor
Kwame
Penfold that just got kicked out.
Kwame.
Listen, do you know what my response was when he got kicked out? I said, well, everyone who's ever seen a movie knows the Negro dies first.
I don't know how you didn't see that
standard.
coming.
We saw that coming with Barack. I saw it coming with Barack. It's like, we're going to give you a chance and we're going to make sure that I honestly believe, coming from a conscious, kind of mindset, I honestly believe there's already an agenda so far as, who's going to be in charge next, and it's all planned out, it's all set out, and it's
do you think we're ever going to see okay, so Kemi Badenoch is she's serving now as Secretary for State for International Trade and President of the Board of Trade so that's her role. So she's on the front benches, but like you said, she doesn't really represent us. Do you think we're ever going to see a time where there's going to be a woman of African heritage as the Prime Minister of this country?
Not in our
and would
lifetimes.
would it be a good thing?
Look, if they put a woman of African heritage in, I'm going to be worried for her and I'm going to be worried for us. Yeah? Because there's always an agenda, right? And the agenda is not going to ever be to our benefit.
I was just going to ask, what would the world be like if African people, like African black people were the same, like
we're autonomous.
What would the world autonomous? I don't really know what that word means.
I mean, it means you basically get to go ahead and do things
in charge
your way,
of yourself.
the way you want to do it. Yeah,
sovereignty.
I mean, at the end of the day, we don't have to be equal to anything. Like when they say, "Oh, men and women are equal," and I'm like, I don't want to be equal to a man. I just want to be equal to myself. Like
we're talking about equity, not equality.
Yes, exactly, equity. So I'm happy to go ahead and just be autonomous. But I just don't have. I'm not the sort of person that has interest in like fighting that agenda with white people. Like, oh, give us our rights, treat us the same.
Yeah.
And
I feel like there's so many other things to think about as well,
I don't look over
though.
my shoulder at that. I turn the other way.
Like
And I
politics.
just get on whatever I have to get on with. You know what I'm saying?
But I think you touched on something really important there, which is that, you know, the system that we are in, regardless of who is put to the fore as a figurehead, that system will never serve us.
Right.
So regardless of who you have up there to make it look good or look a certain way, it's not designed for us.
It's not part of my vocabulary or anything like that. What I do is I watch the business news and I watch politics to actually keep up with what's going on, so I can then go about my business according to what's happening. You get what I'm saying? That's the reason why I watch these things. Not because I'm following or not. I'm navigating.
Or have faith
I'm
in
just
it,
navigating.
yeah.
But whoever snake is in charge right now, I'm just gonna move like a viper with them. Like, okay, you're doing this, I'm gonna do that. You're doing it. This is how we're gonna do a little tango. That's all. And I think that's how we as black people should move for the time being, because times are not ripe for us to do much more than keep rising in consciousness, keep working on self-development, keep working on teaching our children. Their emotional IQ is amazing compared to ours. These young people.
Yeah, it's true. No, it's true. They have a language we didn't have.
IQ is absolutely amazing. We could be learning a lot from them and using our experience along with their emotional intelligence to actually,
So
put things in place.
reclaiming, repairing.
Right, and not worrying about if who likes us, who don't like us, who's treating us equal. It's not the time to concern ourselves about that. It's a time to just get to work. Our children will do those things. Our grandchildren will do those things. Our great children.
Well, of course, if they haven't destroyed the planet first.
Even if they destroy the planet, they will still be unless there's not one single type of being on this earth. We will change. I think people don't give human beings enough credit. We evolve. We change.
Well, according to this brother, and I love this. I watched this thing on YouTube. He said he put up all these images of various, white people, Asian people, and he kept saying these are human beings. And then he put up an image of a person of African heritage and saying, this is a 9-strand DNA Anunnaki god. And he kept doing this throughout the video. And the backlash, people were so unhappy. Why are you saying this? This is racist. And I was thinking, and then a sister put it like, well, hang on a minute. You told us we were 3/5 human. You told us we weren't humans. You called us monkeys and all these things. Now we're saying we're 9-strand DNA Anunnaki gods. Now you have a problem. You can be. What if we say you be human beings? We'll be 9-strand DNA Anunnaki
gods. Because you thought human beings were so high and great. Yeah, so you say like that. Just because you didn't think of that idea. Yeah, just because you didn't think of it. But
can we play your track? I think it's a really perfect time to and tell our listeners why you chose it.
Oh, so yesterday I was just traveling around, and
Were you daydreaming?
No, actually, I was really busy, and I found this rapper. Her name is Eugen Blackrock. I was just listening to music, and the lyrics, the lyrics right. I was reading the lyrics of one of the songs, and it didn't match up to the song I was listening to. So I was reading the lyrics, and I was so confused. It was another song by her. So I was like, I need to find this song with the lyrics. And yeah, it's this song, because it's just, she's an amazing, writer, or whatever you call it. She's just, brilliant. So, do you know what? I'm going to read the lyrics before we play the song, because sometimes the speed of the speech is just, okay. She writes, I read secrets in the hand, from birth to cemetery, blessed like Silent Mary. The mind's my secret monastery, dressed in sky clothes. Do you know what? Let's just listen to the song.
Ooh, that's
nice.
a good intro.
Let's hear it.
Can you hear it? No, one moment. Sorry.
We're going to have to talk, kill time while the track goes on.
We're still trying to get the track up.
Is it coming? One more time.
Who's it by, did you say?
Eugen
Blackrock.
Do you know what?
Okay.
I'm going to find it on a different device. And
See, the thing about finding these artists now is that when you start going into the rabbit hole, I love finding new music, and I love, when you find those different rappers and those different eclectic sort of, is it a UK rapper or
African American.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm going
I like it
to do?
these days.
While you're finding that, I'm going to put another track on while you're doing that, and we'll find it. Yeah. Ready?
Oh, how about a round of applause? Yeah, standing ovation. Ooh, oh, yeah, yeah. You look so dumb right now, standing outside my house, trying to apologize. You're so ugly when you cry. Please, just cut it out. And don't tell me you're sorry, 'cause you're not. And baby, when I know you're only sorry you got caught, but you put on quite a show, really had me going, but now it's time to go. Curtains finally closing, that was quite a show, very entertaining, but it's over now. But it's over now. Go on and take a bow. Grab your clothes and get gone. You better hurry up before the sprinklers come on. Talking about, girl, I love you, you're the one. This just looks like a rerun. Please, what else is on? And don't tell me you're sorry, 'cause you're not. Baby, when I know you're only sorry you got caught, but you put on quite a show, really had me going, but now it's time to go. Curtains finally closing, that was quite a show, very entertaining, but it's over now. Go on and take a bow. And the award for the best life goes to you, for making me believe that you could be faithful to me. Let's hear your speech out. How about a round of applause? A standing ovation, but you put on quite a show, really had me going, now it's time to go. Curtains finally closing, that was quite a show, very entertaining, but it's over now. But it's over now. Go on and take the bow, but it's over now.
Lovely.
Yes, man, it's over now. I think that message, that's one of Rihanna's better tracks. So we're going to play your track now.
Okay. Ooh. Yugen Black Rock, Land of the Grey.
What's the name of the song?
Land of the Grey. Land of Grey, I think. Land of Grey, yeah.
That's it.
I was told that Africa had no history, and neither did I. That I was a savage. About whom the less said the better.
cemetery, blessed like Silent Mary. The mind's my secret monastery, dressed in sky clothes. I leave corpses for vultures to eviscerate and run untamed like wild horses. Hope is on a distant star, blistering with dry heat, so I blaze like crematoria. When I see death from afar, sing the war cries, my idol song. Peace with the air and dust, blast from an iron lung. New bird in the center of my universe. Sing for me, bittersweet symphonies, the void and I are similes. Phoenix out the ashes, the dawn girls never broken. Alone but never know some. I sleep with third eye open and dream dreams of battlefields where crows feast on carrion and carry on fully armed. Black rock, red blooded barbarian. Dead leaves swirling round my feet like dervishes. I'm Atlas with the gold chip on my shoulder where the burden is. Cloudy visions, can't see the light begins in 96. The wind shifts the sound, the wilt away like dying ibises. Breathe the breath of life from mother to rebels and outcasts. Footprints of light illuminate the darkest path. So I wear this cloak of fading feathers, holding a scepter that's led us from the ether, fall like rain on every desert. Welcome to the land of grain, where troubles never cease and man's awakening is accompanied by grief. So I wear this cloak of fading feathers, holding a scepter that's led us from the ether, fall like rain on every desert. Welcome to the land of grain, where troubles never cease and man's awakening is accompanied by grief. Bent at the spine, 1,000-year-old heroine. The dream of classic novelists and Elohim dissecting structure physically to trace my struggle patterns. Why in the deepest darkness my soul beams like a lantern, engineered in female form, a silent carrier of the force. I'm a sandstorm in desert dunes, a shadow with a torch. As tombstones whisper my name across graveyards, familiar like spiky words that pierce through heavy hearts. I breathe smoke particles, my attitude shifting with the moon. Open book, gods read me like an article, celestial. My rhyme style blasts like a cannon. As rare as a moment of clarity, I'm a mammoth, ambling through space-time and elephant boneyards. Emotional equivalent of Mozart. Classic, how verbal blades can dismember a fascist. 7 active chakras, so the prana travels fastest to a future imagined. Transform bad energies, electric symphonies. I play conductor in magnetic fields. Note the coded notes of super strings and entities with strategies in quiet storms, speaking lightning streaks. So I wear this cloak of raven feathers, holding a scepter as letters from the ether fall like rain on every desert. Welcome to the land of grain, where troubles never cease and man's awakening is accompanied by grief. So I wear this cloak of raven feathers, holding a scepter as letters from the ether fall like rain on every desert. Welcome to the land of grain, where troubles never cease and man's awakening is accompanied by grief.
Yes, we love that. We love
That was like
we got some echo chain. Ba 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 ba.
That was like a Lauryn Hill versus Wu-Tang type of tip.
Yeah,
that's how it
that
came
was
off
banging.
to me.
with
yeah.
a little hint of Sampa the Great
Yes.
in there.
Yeah, who I've never heard of. I just got introduced, so
She's
I can't wait to
amazing.
listen to that.
She's
So we're gonna play.
excellent.
We're gonna go straight some more music because you all started singing some lyrics to a track by the one and only Miss Lady Saw.
Or Minister,
Yeah, draw us
Minister,
out
what's she
now.
called these days? Minister Marion. She turned priest
Okay,
now.
yes,
She turned priest.
she's
Yeah,
allowed, she's
yeah,
allowed,
she's
she's
a
allowed.
She's a vicar,
She's allowed,
honestly.
man.
Okay.
Yeah.
She had flip-flop back and forth, to be
Yeah,
fair.
man.
So shall we put this one on?
Yeah,
Let's
man, let
do
we go,
it.
let we
For the
go.
man
Tell
them. For the
them.
man them.
Round here. See them argue over man with them a share. See don't a worry about when next gal a wear. And us she said they need to do them here. Do you hear? The kind of life me see them living round here. Sometimes it's sorry for this just where them a be. But hot gal from your conscience clear. See now when you load make me hear. Man a the least of my problem. So me left idiot fi have them. Me too cute fi mix up and blend. So tell a gal girl, she figure with her argument. Me stress free, come in in a excitement. Them give away free, but no man not there beside them. Some girl a hype on me, yes, a man a hide them. Nah, no pride, girl, them no hot man, no ride them. Cha. Me too rich for argue with bitch. Me too nice for in a cockfight. Me too hot and a that girl no like them. Everybody sitting me a while. That's right. When me go shopping, me no look on the price. Where girl a struggle for figures, me get it in a one night. Overbook right, no one me hardly advise. Come on for me name, girl, me nice. I wonder where some girl a study round here. See them argue over man where them a share. She don't a worry about when next gal a wear. And us she said them need fi do them here. Me dear, the kind of life me see them living round here. Sometimes me sorry for this just where them a be. But gal from your conscience clear. See now when your load make me hear. Man a the least, me drive them like Jeep. Park them till me ready now, isn't that neat? Man a weep, come me have them wicked smile. We are nowhere, me no idiot lily. Me have houses, cars and Cuban cigars. Me get date with lawyers and big movie stars. Me guy in a collar just want me and him par. Me say easy, now that you a take it too far. Man a the least. I wonder where some gyal a study round here. See them argue over man where them a share. She don't a worry about when next gyal a wear. And us she say them need fi do them here. Do you hear? The kind of life me see them living round here. Sometimes it's sorry for this, just where them a be. But girl, from your conscience clear. See now when your load make me hear. Me worry about the coming of God, not the coming of man. Worry how fi make myself one the chosen one. Me no worry about girl who a look me husband. Oh, me worry over man, you're wrong. Excess baggage me no carry. So tell a girl about me, she not fi worry. If I meet fi take a man fi her name, go mention that the day now go come, girl, me sorry. Man a the least of me problem. So me left idiot fi have them. Me too cute fi mix up and blend. So tell a girl she fi go with her argument. Me stress fi come in a excitement. Them give away free and no man no dey beside them. Some girl a hype on me, yes, a man a hide them. Nah, no pride, girl, them no hot man no ride them. Wow, oh, me too rich fi argue with bitch. Me too nice fi in a cockfight. Me too hot and a that girl no like them. Everybody sitting me a wife. Ring. When me go shopping, me no look on the price. When girl a struggle for years, me get it in a one night. Overbook right now, and me hardly advise. Come on for me name, girl, me nice. Come on at the least. I wonder where some girl a study round here. See them argue over man where them a share. She don't a worry about when next girl a wear. And us she say them need fi do them here. Do you hear? The kind of life me see them living round here. Sometimes it's sorry for this, just where them a be. But girl, from your conscience clear. See now when your load make me hear. Man a the least. I wonder where some gyal a study round here. See them argue over man where them a share. She don't a worry about when next gyal a wear. And us she say them need fi do them here. Do you hear? The kind of life me see them living round here. Sometimes it's sorry for this, just where them a be. But girl, from your conscience clear. See now when your load make me hear.
Big up that tune.
See, she's not called Walk Up for nothing.
No, not at all, not at all.
Walk up, wake me up. Real quick.
So we're going to play one more track by the sister we just discovered.
Yugen Black Rock.
Yugen Black Rock. Special request of Faye. Keep a little bit of music going, and then I don't know the rest of our guests, we've ended up just running the show.
I know.
It's been quite nice, actually.
It's been a lovely
It's been fun.
Yeah, we're well all right.
Oh, I have to bring you all in again and take over the place. Let's play this track.
Anytime.
Evolution, every step was to live in the machine, blur reality and dream, natural and bionic means. Life caught in a stream where screenshots were memories, evidence of a time when we breathed. When the ladder fell, held the base and descended from proverbial hells, attached to memory like scars on the flesh, seemingly retracing these steps, cause history keeps repeating itself and refaded instead, chiseled with intent from the smallest of cells, the immaculate entanglement. chromosome double X, the hidden realm, her element. Chosen matriarch walks with the ghost of elephants. Let me transform you. Run if you can't fly. The gaze penetrates the matrix, the string that pulls you out of mazes. Walk if you can't run. Learn your lessons. There's no telling when the road becomes essential. Mind like creator gets broader. Mind like creator restores you. Mind like creator makes you a transformer, turn chaos into order. Mind like creator gets broader. Mind like creator restores you. Mind like creator makes you a transformer, turn chaos into order. As bright lights in the skies linked to human origins, search the morphic fields for cryptic oracles. Old crows spine set to mimic ancient obelisks. Guide me as I navigate through cold metropolis. Gasping under heavy smog, voice hoarse, like I feast on shards of porcelain. The cold call, when I react atomic hydrogen and old war. Past generation fear disarming us with one course. Smashing atoms, winding back the common clock from digital to analog. Dancing round fires like it's equinox. Dancing round fires like the chanting down of Babylon. Nanobot rebellion, extinction of the humanoid. Run if you can't fly, the string that pulls you out of mazes. The same gaze that penetrates the matrix. Walk if you can't run, learning lessons, never guessing when the road will change direction. Mind like creator gets broader. Mind like creator restores you. Mind like creator makes you a transformer, turn chaos into order. Mind like creator gets broader. Mind like creator restores you. Mind like creator makes you a transformer, turn chaos into order.
Yeah, she's a powerful sister. Very powerful. So now you heard that, listeners. Jürgen Blackrock.
I'm very pleased to have been introduced to her. Thanks for that.
Yes, most definitely. So we've got like, I don't know, another 10 minutes or so left of the show. It's turned into us four having a conversation because one sister sadly had family visiting. She couldn't make it. And the other two who work on the market, I was trying to showcase their stuff. I think they just got caught up with, you know, with the cost of living crisis, things are hard.
Right.
And so people are just busy and trying to make a living and get by.
But how bizarre is that, though? Cost of living. I mean, just listen to it for a second. Cost of living crisis. I mean, really? Really? That's how far we've come from ourselves as a species.
The cost of living.
That we have made existing prohibitively expensive.
Yes.
I mean, everything.
What a thing.
100%.
Apple sent me a thing telling me my Apple TV subscription is going up from $4.99 to $6.99 today. So I thought, oh, that's it. Bye-bye, Apple.
See you later.
Yeah. I was talking to someone today and she was saying, well, you know what, she like me, she feels almost like it's a political act not to use your gas, not to put your central heating on. She's got all like these really long water bottles for her children, and she's putting candles all over the place. And I'm thinking, yeah, I might do the same. I feel like
you know what
I'm
did?
not buying into it.
What I did is I moved into my front room. I basically have got 2 bedrooms, and obviously I've got my front room, kitchen, whatnot. And I just took everything out of my front room and put my bed in there and just I took up my sofa. I just rearranged my front room so that I've got my office, my alfresco kind of dining little section there, my TV, my makeup table, my bed, you know, and I just put all my clothes and all the rest. Anything that when I'm ready to just hop from one position to the other, my stuff, my office, my little corner when we sit down and look out the window, you know what I mean, drink my little cup of tea, my bed,
Do you know?
a flat screen, and my makeup table. That's
I
it.
used to cuss
One
my
room.
granny. I used
That's
to
how
cuss
I'm
my granny
navigating.
always telling me put on a jumper. I was like, listen, if I have to be cold in my own house, then I'm getting ripped off.
You
Now,
know what I'm saying?
now,
Right.
hear me, hear me now. Hey, child, put on a jumper.
And then every minute.
Things come full
on a
circle.
jumper
man.
first.
Put on a jumper if you're cold. I'm not paying for you
No,
to swan about.
I'm not into that. I just want to be relaxed, and I'm just gonna close. Like I said, I just moved into one room. It's only me one. I don't have to concern myself. Luckily, I'm a bachelorette now, so you know that's how I go on. So.
Well, my eldest daughter lives with me, and she's away a lot. So when she's not around, I mean, I keep the lights off. I'm literally now putting candles on, and I'm going to do all the same things because I'm not buying into this thing.
We'll be all right.
I'm not prepared to do it.
Do you know what?
Right. We'll be fine.
I think for me personally, the only solution is to not live here.
Well, there's that.
That is, I need to move somewhere where the sun shines.
Africa is
what's
warm.
that? What's that? What's the? No, for real.
I think we can navigate through it. But I just think we just have to be like. I think we have to be mindful of the situation. We know things are going to get more expensive. Some people's mortgages, I heard, like going up £750 a month.
Well, what about? I mean, the gas and the electric.
Right, it's going to go up. So I think that we can basically get through it. We're creative with our recipes. You know what I mean? A good piece of cornmeal, some milk. We can work with that, bread, bakes, little saltfish. We know how to get through these times. Big pot of soup, like a one pot. This is not going to be hard for us. We know how to sacrifice
you know the little
and live good.
You know the little cookers that you can
that.
get, the charcoal cookers that you can get in Africa. I'm thinking, boy, just get one of those. Heat up the charcoal and start grilling stuff. I just don't do my grill. I mean, I'm vegan, so grill vegetables and stuff.
Whatever you think you can do, just get on with it. And just like I said, don't buy into the hype. But don't start getting all panicky.
That's the thing, isn't it? Not to allow them to panic.
Just cut down. Don't get panicked. Just cut down and navigate and just continue to build your wealth or whatever plan. Continue to work on your plan.
Yeah.
And just continue to build your wealth in the background. That's it. It's just look one pound.
Actually,
meanwhile, though, I would really hope that the younger generation, the people coming up now, are working on ways to dismantle this system so that we don't have to adjust and get smaller and get used to it.
The way to help them dismantle the system is to make
Run
money
away
for
to
them.
Africa.
Yeah,
because listen, we need to buckle down and stick to the plan.
Cold weather. No.
Right, we need to make money so that when our intelligent ones come through, we've got the finances to back them and support them as sponsors. So right now, with the wisdom that we have, that's what I'm trying to say, with the wisdom that we have, we should now be able to start building wealth with that wisdom. We've learned enough, We've made our mistakes, and we should really be digging in our heels now to really get that final lap of, we need to build some generational wealth, right?
Yeah.
And we need to be investing that into the ones that are coming behind us, basically, when they need it. And we need to be our generation. I'm 44, right? So our generation, we need to be creating opportunities for these young masterminds to be coming into. So we've given them safe spaces for them to be involved in, okay? So forget about all this other stuff. Honestly, I beg everybody, stick to your spirituality, stick to your consciousness, stick to self-development, and stick to if it's 1p at a time, just keep pushing for your generational wealth.
And stand
that
in your
African
power.
raw sun is sounding so good right now. I'm telling you that.
I know.
That sun in Africa, the sun blazing raw.
Listen,
sounding good.
It's healing.
Can I?
Telephone
that
call,
sounds
ring.
great, but you know what I face? I'm not going to talk about Africa. I've never been there, but I'm going to talk about Caribbean. I've been there plenty of times. That's all nice, the sun, but the people, right?
Mindset.
Is what we're
There
struggling against. And it's not everybody, because there's lots of conscious people back home that feel exactly the same way. But there's still a mindset of colonialism that's even more intensified.
But this is what we were talking about,
around.
dismantling the systemic issues, because it's not about just dismantling it over here, it's dismantling it in the Caribbean, in Africa. I mean, I go to West Africa and I'm hopefully won't be here soon. I'll be getting out again for a few months and I'll be in West Africa. And we still have some of the same challenges because colonialism.
That's right. That's
well,
what
this is
the
biggest thing that they colonized is our minds, and that's what we need to. That's
That
where
is
we need
it.
to
And it's gonna
decolonize.
So I'm not in a rush to go to the Caribbean and actually see it more in my eyes.
Me,
It
I'm rushing.
traumatizes me.
Yeah.
The sun is one thing, But personally, for me, my experience is that it traumatizes me to see so much colonialism with an area that's so intensified black people, basically. So this is my
Well, I feel like it's my work. I've got to dismantle it. Also, I'm 10 years, more than 10 years older than you. And for me, I can't take this weather anymore. I'm going to
I can't. The older I get, the more I feel in my soul, in my DNA, in my cellular structure that I am in the wrong place.
I feel like I'm in the wrong place too, but I just don't feel like I'm self-developed enough to what I've already experienced. I know who I have to be now and how set up I need to be. So I just don't think I'm ready as yet. But
to be honest,
but that's a plan. that's powerful.
As long as you know who you are, that's the most important thing.
Precisely.
So now I just hold you right there because we need to do a quick rundown of what's happening tomorrow on Portobello Radio.
Oh wow!
Because tomorrow the art bus is back in the hood. And from what I understand, it's 12 o'clock that we're getting on the art bus tomorrow. I'm going through what's on the website. 12 o'clock, meeting at the usual place, which is used to be the Usual Suspects, which is the junction of Portobello Road and Cambridge Gardens.
I think you're right,
Yeah. But now it's not anymore the Usual Suspects. It's a big teddy bear. So just look out for the big pink teddy bear that's on the wall, on the corner, by the hairdressers.
So for those of us that don't know what the art bus is, what is it?
The art bus is this wonderful bus that picks up loads of incredible people and drives around lots of art galleries in North Kensington, but I think it might even be going a bit further this time. And it takes people and they do a tour and you get a chance to see all the art, darling. And, and at the same time, we have a live broadcast on the art bus. We're going to have to invite you on to one of them.
Yeah, I'd like to come. Yeah,
we're going to have to have you. We're going to have to have you and the wonderful presenters, and we have live performers, much like this, but on a bus, going around art galleries.
Sounds amazing. It's very creative.
Yeah.
So yes, the art bus is on tomorrow. Make sure you're there, or else you are square, I think they say. And then we've got some music sets by. We've got the hydration hour at 2 o'clock by, is it Georgia Lapita? Georgia Lapita with the hydration hour. And then we've got Lily Bud's weekend at 3 to 4. I don't know who Lily Bud is and what her weekend's going to be about, but I'm sure it's going to be amazing. And then followed by the Foreign Office at 4 till 5. Now, is that it? Are we only going on till 5 p.m.? Is there anything happening on Portobello Radio after 5 p.m.?
No, there's 5 p.m. slot, we're still undecided, and then 6 o'clock there's a slot, and 7 o'clock there's a slot. Is that not saying on that?
No, it's not. But if you want to know a little bit more about what's happening, don't take it from me. Take it from the website. Go to portobelloradio.com, and there is a calendar with the events. And by the time you get there, they will have confirmed the slots. Oh, yep, there we are. 6 o'clock, Mono Loco, 6 to 7. And 7 till 8, Disco 45 with Jason Nixon. And these are all well-known Portobello Radio DJs, so big them up. And of course, if you want to take a break from Portobello Radio, you can go down 12 o'clock and assemble at Trafalgar Square and join the United Friends and Families campaign march. It's an annual march where they march to raise awareness and to challenge the ongoing issues of state-sanctioned murders, deaths in custody, in police custody, in prisons and mental health units. So we support those families. I'll be down there from 12. And also the Eclectic Goddess, my other entity that I am, will be on for Ferrety Radio, and I will be co-hosting a part 3 special with the amazing Roots Doctor. He is an elder, and we will be there from 4 till 6, and we'll be doing a review of Black History Month, the 1 month we're allowed to be black. So yeah,
well, I'll be tuning into that.
Review that.
Yes. So how long have we got left, wonderful Faye? Because we started a little bit late.
We got a good 8 minutes.
I think we should play a track, because the wonderful Amber chose 2 tracks. You didn't just choose 1 track. You chose 2 tracks. What's the second track you chose?
I believe We Now Run by Tanya Stevens. Yeah.
We love a bit of Tanya on this station.
She's my girl.
And
yeah.
so any reason why You Now Run?
Do you know what? I just love the song. It's just positivity. And you know what? Particularly in terms of Black History Month, blackness is often framed as a state of victimhood. Yes. And do you know what? It's not that. It's a fucking. Sorry. It's a blessing. Beep.
Normal service.
No, it's a blessing and a gift, and I think that this song
Service
celebrates
announcement.
that.
Let's go. We now run.
I love it. I love it.
Here now. You know we not run, cause we're not trackless. And we don't even need no bigger heads for backness. We are gonna stand firm, put up our black fist, and make them know say you love we are practice. So we are gonna love those who love us, love those who hate us even more. Use them negativity for motivate us even more. When them a try intimidate us and frustrate us with that screw, imagine what a smile can do. So when them want fight, cause we refuse them attention, a retribution, diffuse them dissension. When you are tried with your strife and war around you, don't get mad, cause me no like they are around you. Me no care who bad mind and who a fight who. From you no subscribe to that, just go through. And if you get peace, war are the only solution. Lace up your boots and prepare for the revolution. Cause we not run and attract this, and we don't even need no bigger heads for back this. We are gonna stand firm, put up our black fist, and make them know say you love we are practice. No matter what them design for attack this, if we even drop we bounce back like elastic. Don't know where you call Babylon can't stop this. Just make them know say you love we are practice. First we had planes hitting buildings, and now we have bombs hitting children. We no progress from the Indians and the pilgrims, but there's no way we can lose with compassion and still win. So we have to stand up if we want to win the war on the streets, while politicians sit down in at them parliament seats. But truth is a gun we no shoot and miss. So when them think we are back now, we are gonna tell them this. We not run, cause we're not track this, and we don't even need no bigger heads for back this. We are gonna stand firm, put up a black fist, and make them know say you love we are practice. No matter what them design for attack this, if we even drop we bounce back like elastic. Don't know where you call Babylon can't stop this. Just make them know say you love we are practice. So while them accumulating regrets, you know we stay smiling in the face of death. Cause we know say you no brute force we get none of we power from. Peace of our ammunition, love of our gun. And so we liberate ourselves from all hypocrisy and start investing more in our reciprocity. So when them a come with them beef like a party this, what them think we're gonna sprint now? And I'm early after this, you know we not run and attract this, and we don't even need no bigger heads for back this. We are gonna stand firm, put up a black fist, and make them know say you love we are practice. No matter what them design for attack this, if we even drop we bounce back like elastic. Don't know where you call Babylon can't stop this. Just make them know say you love we are practice. So we are gonna love those who love us, love those who hate us even more. Use them negativity for motive.
Somebody, yes, we got the mics back. Yes. Well, them no run, but sometimes these things happen, you know.
Two little skanks.
So yeah. Well, you have to have a little skank. So just another announcement, but just to remind people that we do repeat this show at 12 o'clock on a Saturday. And of course, we will be on the bus at the same time. Well, I won't be on the bus. I'll be on the UFFC march. But, you know, viva to those on the bus. And Sunday morning, 10 to 11, this is repeated again, this show, and then it's followed by the Ruffler Club, and their special guest will be Will Self, who'll be doing a half-an-hour special. The big, well-known Will Self himself. And just to shout out that after this, starting at 7 o'clock this evening, we've got the first of 3 film events happening here at our very own beautiful Muse Gallery, 269 Portobello Road. Big shout out to all those lovely Muse folk. I can see the lovely Khalid there. I can see Damien. Penny's going to be here later. What a lovely bunch of people they are in the Muse Gallery. Lovely. And we are showing Afro Samurai Resurrection tonight. All the films will be introduced by the legend himself, who is Junior Tomlin, the Salvador Dali of rave, and who is a Afro-futuristic inspired graphic artist. The film starts at 7 o'clock, and it will be followed by Junior Ponder Dex playing some junglist. And then on... I like that. Thank you. And then on Sunday, the 30th, 7 o'clock, once again, we're here And JC Kamau will be presenting his film.
She got the good vibes.
Which is Black Panther. Say no more. Black
Love
Panther.
it.
I mean, you
Love
know,
it.
Wakanda Forever's coming out next month,
Yeah.
people. 11th of November, Wakanda Forever. So we have to see. So Black Panther, if you haven't seen it. Followed by JC playing some 60s, 70s, and 80s soul and funk. And then next Friday, we will be showing at 7 o'clock The Last Angel of History, which sounds really fascinating, presented by our very own Toby Laurent Belson, the wonderful artist and DJ known as TLB. And he'll be playing techno music, house, and various kind of drum and bass and ting. So do come down, support our Afrofuturism evenings. Because, you know, we were talking about it. The thing I love about Afrofuturism is it's the idea of a different future. What if we hadn't been colonized? What if we hadn't been enslaved? What could we create?
Yeah.
You spoke about what do we have the potential? Us 9-strand DNA
DNA,
Anunnaki
9
gods.
ether. Yeah, exactly.
What potential do we have? What Afrofuturistic potential do we have? And of course, there's a paid bar, so you can come and have a drink as well.
Lovely.
So I think we got about how long left? Checking the time. 1 minute. So I want you to give a shout out again with your handles and tell us anything you're doing, please.
Okay, so what I want to say is I've got an event. I've got classes coming up, which is more important. Classes are going to be on the 6th of November, December the 2nd, and the 8th of January. It's only £30. It's at Gym Box. So I want you to hit me up at Wukup Academy, WUKUPACADEMY, yeah, to just holler at me there, and then I'm going to tell you how you can get your tickets. But calm down. It's like a sorority of sisters. If you like soca, you like dance hall, and you want a Sunday vibe once a month over the winter time, just to make sure you touch base with your sisters. You know what I mean? It's a good vibe. No, not too serious for now.
Nice.
Yeah, not too serious.
What do you want to leave us with? This has been so brilliant to have the two of you. Hasn't it been great?
It's been really.
It's been so nice. I feel it's like everything.
Such a gift, both of you.
Yeah, man. And it's kind of a bit intergenerational. You got the
nice
slightly elder one and the younger
lovely
one and
to
the
meet
in
you
between
both.
two and things.
Yes,
yeah.
Auntie.
Yes, Amber.
All right, so tell me.
No, go.
Say,
Just
no, you
give us some words, man. Give us some words.
Words about what? No, I don't know what to say. Put me on the spot now.
What can we say?
What
we
can
can
we
say that basically this is one of many shows that we're, going to be thinking about doing, and I hope we've inspired lots of black women out there to basically go ahead and create their own spaces, to have conversations, healthy spaces, and hopefully this will just lead on to something bigger and greater. We can do this a little bit more often, but just keep on creating healthy spaces for women of color to have their freedom of self-expression.
Yeah. Reclaim our voice.
Perhaps.
And what's your final words for us, young Faye? Should we play out with the track?
Yeah, let's do it.
A little bit of Mary, I think. Can we get some Mary played?
Let's get it crunk up on that fun up in this dancery. We got y'all open, now you're floating, so you got to dance for me. Don't need no hateration, holleration in this dancery. Let's get it percolated while you're waiting, so just dance for me. Come on, everybody, get on down, 'cause you know we got to get it wrong. Mary J is in the spot tonight, and I'ma make you feel alright. Come on, baby, just party with me. Let loose and set your body free. Leave your situations at the door, so when you step inside, jump on the floor. Let's get it crunk up on that front up in this dancery. We got y'all open, now you're floating, so you got to dance for me. Don't need no hateration, holleration in this dancery. Let's get it percolated while you're waiting, so just dance for me. It's only gonna be about a matter of time before you get loose and start to lose your mind. Cop you a drink, go ahead and rock your eyes, 'cause we're celebrating no more drama in our lives. With the great track pumping, everybody's jumping. Go ahead and twist your back and get your body bumping. I told you leave your situations at the door, so grab somebody and get your ass on the dance floor. Let's get crunk up on up in this dancery. We got y'all open, now you're floating, so you got to dance with me. Don't need no hateration, holleration in this dancery. Let's get it percolated. So just dance for me. Don't need no haters. No, we don't need no. We're just trying to love one another. We just want y'all to have a good time. No more drama in your life. Work real hard to make a dime. If you got beef, your problem, not mine. Leave all that BS outside. We gonna celebrate all night. Let's have fun tonight, no fights. Turn that rage back way up high. Making you dance all night, and I got some real heat for you this time. Doesn't matter if you're white or black. Let's get drunk 'cause Mary's back. Let's get drunk up in this dancery. We got y'all open, now you're floating, so you got to dance for me. Don't need no hateration, holleration in this dancery. Let's get it percolated while you waiting. So just dance for me. Let's get it crunk up on up in this dancery. We got y'all open, now you're floating, so you got to dance for me. Don't need no hateration, holleration in this dancery. Let's get it percolated while you waiting. So just dance for me. Let's get it crunk up on up in this dancery. We got y'all open, now you're floating, so you got to dance for me. Don't need no hateration, holleration in this dancery. Let's get it percolated while you waiting. So just dance for me. Let's get it crunk up on up in this dancery. We got y'all open, now you're floating, so you got to dance for me. Don't need no hateration, holleration in this dancery. Let's get it percolated while you waiting. So just dance for me.
He stood me up again.
Again? Well, what's up with this guy? Do you really like him that much?
Yes, honey, I love him. He is fun. He does a lot of nice things.